You feel it before you understand it. Your heart rate spikes. Your palms go damp. Your eyes snap toward a movement at the edge of your vision, even when you already know it's just a curtain swaying in the breeze. Your body reacted before your brain finished thinking. And for a brief, irrational moment, something inside you was absolutely certain that something out there wanted to kill you. That feeling has a name, but the real story behind it is far stranger than you think. Because your body is not broken. It is not overreacting. It is doing exactly what it was built to do by 300 million years of evolution for a world that no longer exists. A world where something was, in fact, hunting you. And the terrifying part? That system never got the update. It is still running, right now, inside your chest and your gut and your nervous system, scanning for predators that disappeared from your daily life 10,000 years ago. This is not a metaphor. This is biology. And once you see it clearly, you will never look at anxiety, stress, or even a sleepless night the same way again. Start with the most fundamental fact about the animal you are. You are not, in any deep biological sense, a modern creature. The outer layer of you, the one that uses a smartphone and orders food through an app, is cosmetically recent. But underneath it, your body runs on hardware that was forged across hundreds of millions of years of being prey. Evolutionary biologist Daniel Lieberman at Harvard has spent decades arguing exactly this point, that the human body is a collection of ancient solutions to ancient problems, still running in a world those solutions were never designed for. Your nervous system did not evolve for the office. It evolved for the savannah. And on the savannah, the cost of relaxing at the wrong moment was death. The system at the center of all this is called the autonomic nervous system. It operates below conscious thought. You cannot decide to turn it on or off. It divides into two modes. The parasympathetic mode, sometimes called rest and digest, is the calm setting. Heart rate low, digestion active, muscles loose, pupils normal. And then there is the sympathetic mode, the one your ancestors needed. Heart rate elevated, blood rerouted to the large muscles, digestion halted, pupils dilated, stress hormones flooding the bloodstream. Fight or flight, freeze. This mode was built for one specific situation. Something is trying to eat you. Move now or die. The problem is that your brain cannot always tell the difference between a lion and a dead lion. Neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux at New York University spent years mapping the neural architecture behind this response, and what he found is deeply revealing. The trigger does not run through your prefrontal cortex, the thinking, reasoning part of your brain, first. It runs through the amygdala, a small, almond-shaped cluster deep in the center of your brain first. The amygdala is ancient. It is not interested in logic. It is interested in speed. It processes incoming signals before you consciously register them, and fires off the alarm before your rational mind even receives the information. By the time you think, oh, it's just the curtain, your heart is already beating faster. Your palms are already wet. The ancient machinery moved first. This is called the low road of fear processing, and Ledoux's work confirms something extraordinary. Your fear response is not a product of thought. It is a product of pattern recognition happening below thought, in a structure that predates the human brain by tens of millions of years. So when you flinch at a shadow, your amygdala has already run a calculation. It saw an edge, a sudden movement, a shape that roughly matched the outline of something dangerous, and it sent the signal without waiting for confirmation. Because for your ancestors, waiting for confirmation was how you got killed. Primatologist Lynn Isbell at the University of California, Davis, proposed one of the most compelling theories in evolutionary neuroscience, that primate brains, including yours, developed large and highly sensitive visual processing systems specifically because of snakes. Snakes were one of the primary predators of early primates for roughly 60 million years. Isbell argued that our extreme sensitivity to coiling shapes, sudden movements, and irregular patterns in our peripheral vision is a direct evolutionary inheritance of that 60 million year arms race. Your brain is literally built at a structural level to see snakes, to see predators, to see threats. You did not learn to be afraid of the dark. You inherited it. You did not learn to feel uneasy when someone stands too close behind you. You inherited it. These sensations are not personality quirks. They are survival tools that ran flawlessly for millions of years, now operating inside a body that lives in a world those tools were never designed to protect you from. Consider what happens to your body under stress today. Your employer sends a difficult email. Your rent is late. You have a difficult conversation coming up that you have been avoiding. None of these things can physically harm you. And yet your cortisol levels rise, your heart rate increases, your immune function drops, your sleep deteriorates. You scan for exits when you enter a crowded room. These are not symptoms of weakness. These are the outputs of a system calibrated for mortal threat, misfiring against symbolic threats. Psychologist Mark Schaller at the University of British Columbia has studied what he calls the behavioral immune system, a second, overlapping threat detection network that operates through disgust, social wariness, and heightened sensitivity to people or situations that might carry risk. It evolved in parallel with the physical threat system, and it is equally overactive in the modern world, generating reactions to things that feel dangerous but pose no actual physical risk. Your gut response to certain social situations, certain types of people, certain unfamiliar environments, these are not necessarily reasoned judgments. They are ancient alarm bells ringing in a world that no longer matches the threats they were built to detect. Here is where it gets even stranger. Your body does not just react to present threats, it anticipates them. The stress response has a predictive component. It primes your system before danger arrives, based on pattern recognition accumulated across your lifetime, and at a deeper level, across evolutionary time. This is why you can feel a vague, sourceless dread for no clear reason. Your threat detection system has picked up on something, a tone of voice, an ambient sound, a time of day associated with vulnerability, and begun preparing your body before your conscious mind has named the source. Late at night, when the house is quiet and your thoughts begin to spiral, that is not anxiety. That is your body reverting to its ancient overnight posture, alert, scanning, light sleeping, because for most of human history, nighttime was when the predators moved. Anthropologist David Sampson at the University of Toronto has studied sleep across human societies and found that ancient sleep patterns were almost certainly segmented and light, with periods of wakefulness during the night specifically because darkness brought the greatest predator risk. What modern medicine calls insomnia, your body often calls preparation, and the physical toll is real. Chronically elevated cortisol, the primary stress hormone released during threat response, suppresses immune function, accelerates cellular aging, disrupts memory formation, and thickens arterial walls. Your body is paying a physiological price for running a predator detection system in a world that no longer requires it at the intensity it demands. The system evolved for short, acute bursts of danger. Predator appears. Sprint, hide, survive. Cortisol clears, system resets. It did not evolve for the slow, continuous, low-level threat of a modern life with unresolved problems that cannot be outrun. You cannot sprint away from debt. You cannot freeze a difficult relationship into stillness. You cannot fight a prognosis. And so the system keeps running, the cortisol keeps circulating. The amygdala keeps scanning. The body keeps believing at some deep chemical level that something is still out there in the dark. This is one of the central health crises of the modern world, hidden in plain sight. Not a disease, not a deficiency, a mismatch. A body exquisitely designed for one kind of world, dropped into a completely different one, doing its job so faithfully that it is slowly wearing you down. But here is the part that changes how you see yourself. When you understand what is happening, when you recognize that the tightness in your chest during a stressful workday is the same biological signal your great-great-great ancestor felt when a leopard stepped out of the tall grass, something shifts. It is not weakness, it is history. It is 300 million years of creatures that survived, passing their vigilance down to you. Every single one of your ancestors made it. Every single one of them was scared and kept moving. You come from an unbroken line of animals that never stopped running long enough to stop caring whether they lived. The next time your heart spikes at a shadow, or your body refuses to relax in the quiet of a late night, remember what that feeling actually is. It is not your nervous system betraying you. It is your nervous system doing exactly what it was built to do. Faithfully, relentlessly, in a world your ancestors would not recognize, still scanning the dark, still keeping watch, still absolutely certain, in the only language biology knows, that something out there might be hunting you. It was right once. For a very, very long time, it was right.